So your door got broken.
Yeah, it was broken. And then they poured cold water on me. And then after that, the main
You were
event.
sleeping.
Yeah, I was sleeping. And then after the broken window, I woke up at that point, and then they dragged me outside and poured full cold water on me. Yeah, and then we had the main event around 7 o'clock where they had like mud pit. So we had like proper mud holy, first time experience. It was
Okay,
damn
so
fun.
you experienced mud holy properly.
Yeah, for the first time.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chamomile Tea with Toppers, an initiative by Unacademy. This is your host Chaitanya Mittal, All India Rank 4 in the AIIMS 2019 entrance examination, currently a final prof MBBS at AIIMS New Delhi. In this episode, I have with me Rohit Suresh.
Hi.
Hi Rohit, how are you?
I'm fine.
So Rohit was All India Rank 70 in the NEET 2022 examination. He had a wonderful score of 700 out of 720 in NEET, in which he got one question wrong in physics, one question wrong in chemistry, one in botany and one in zoology. So perfect symmetry.
Yeah.
Right. So congratulations Rohit, first of all. And in this episode, he'll be talking to you about his journey, on how he prepared and how you guys can incorporate that into your preparation. So we'll try to keep it very focused, since I know NEET 2023 is just around the corner. So we'll try to talk about that first, then a little bit about his entire journey, and then some fun parts at the end. So stay tuned with us and let's begin, Rohit. Okay. So how are you feeling?
Happy right now.
Happy. So what
Relaxed.
was the feeling when your result came?
At that point, I was very satisfied with my result, like because there are a lot of controversial questions which are there, and no one knew which side it'll go to. So I was very satisfied with the results, very happy and excited also.
So you were expecting a good result.
Yeah, kind of.
That's great. That's great. So as you know that Rohit is my junior at AIIMS Delhi. So before meeting him here for this interview, I have met him a couple of times in AIIMS in my room as well. So I want to know, Rohit, how was your experience at AIIMS? How do you feel about it?
It met all my expectations, of course. Like, it's amazing. Like, the campus was amazing. Meeting the seniors was amazing. The interaction was amazing.
Did any part scare you?
No, not at all.
Oh, not
Like,
at all.
initially at first it was a little scary, but now it's very fun.
Right. So you must have celebrated Holi recently.
Yeah.
Okay. So what all happened? Tell us all about it. How was Holi celebration at AIIMS? What all happens?
So, like, it kind of starts unofficially at 5 o'clock when, like, batchmates go around with buckets of water, knock on everyone's door, and then they call them out and they pour water on them. And technically, my door was locked, so they kind of broke open my door.
So your door got broken.
Yeah, it was broken. And then they poured cold water on me. And then after that, the main
You were
event.
sleeping.
Yeah, I was sleeping. And then after the broken window, I woke up at that point, and then they dragged me outside and poured full cold water on me. Yeah, and then we had the main event around 7 o'clock where they had like mud pit. So we had like proper mud holy, first time experience. It was
Okay,
damn
so
fun.
you experienced mud holy properly.
Yeah, for the first time.
Did your clothes get torn? Because that happened to me
Yeah.
in my first year.
Yeah, I got torn.
Okay, nice. So that was a wonderful experience. I remember that was a really crazy experience in first year, and that's how you start first year on a high, and then it keeps on going. So that's great, and I hope you have a wonderful freshers as well. So now coming a little bit to your preparation. So right now, as you know, NEET 2023 is just around the corner. The aspirants have their examination on 7th of May, right? So last 2 months, what should an aspirant do?
Technically, an aspirant should have already covered the entire syllabus at least like once, like at least the most important concepts. And now is the time when you revise, you keep revising basically. You focus on NCRT more.
Were you able to complete your syllabus by this time? By when did you complete your entire syllabus?
So I completed all the main topics by I think December or January. But then I had like entire inorganic chemistry left and all the peripheral chapters. So those I started covering from January onwards, and it went 2 through 3 months.
So even if somebody hasn't finished everything yet, but the mota idea is that they should have covered the broad syllabus, and still if they have some chapters left, they can keep doing it
Towards the end.
and they should start their revision by this time. So was there any special strategy that you used during this last time, or any special techniques that you can tell on how you used to identify which topics are weak, and how did you used to go about them?
I used to wake up at 5, right? So I used to keep like 5 to 11 for like the revision of those topics which I used to keep forgetting, like chemistry. And I used to like do like one block every day in a cycle basically, to an extent where like each block chemistry taking like 2 hours, I could like get it down to like 10 minutes revision. So that really helped towards the end, because I could revise like a big block in like very fast. And I did the same for bio and chemistry, bio and physics as well. So that way I could easily revise all the forgetful topics very fast.
Okay, so you were able to condense that.
Yeah.
So did you make any short notes for that, or what was your condensation?
For inorganic chemistry I did, and for biology I did NCRT only towards the end. Like I compressed all my notes into the NCRT itself. Like I made a lot of notes inside NCRT, and any extra information I put into NCRT itself. So NCRT became a short note towards the end.
Okay, so everything was there in your NCRT for biology itself, and you
like
were
two compress. Yeah.
I also have faced this question a lot, that how much time should someone give in reading one chapter of NCRT biology? Once you've condensed everything into it, what is the appropriate speed for that revision during this time?
That I can't exactly say, because I used to, for me, like I studied basically based on how long I'll take to finish the concept. So if it took more time, I give it more time. In some cases, it'll take less time to give it less time. So it depends on the chapter as well. And there was like I wouldn't like fix a time for a particular chapter. Rather, I'll let the chapter take how much time it wants to.
And another component that is there of this last 3-month race is the mock tests. So tell us a little bit about how you went about mock tests, their analysis, what were your scores?
Okay, so in mock tests, I began to take, like, because we had online classes, I used to take online mock tests a lot. So I think in January was when I started taking offline mock tests for the first time.
Okay.
So I was like not used to bubbling. So that took a lot of time initially. But then after continuous practice, became much more faster. And mock test frequency, I used to take very little mock tests. And towards then I kind of stopped taking mock tests a bit also, because I wanted to focus more on the concepts. Because I was the kind of person who used to focus more on the theory more than the questions. So mock test frequency was like 1 or 2 like 2-3 a week towards the end. Initially, then it rose to like 680, 690, and then 700 to 1 point.
And what was the maximum that it reached?
705, which was the previous year's paper.
Which was the previous year's paper.
And I took that 3 days before NEET, so that kind of gave like confidence.
You see, there was a journey from 640 to 700. So whoever started giving their mock test at this moment, even if you are getting less marks, I feel that it's not a cause for getting demoralized. There's a scope for improvement.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And second thing that is very interesting, because I've taken a lot of other interviews and I've noticed that everybody would say give mock tests every day. But you see, there are toppers who crack it without giving that sort of an emphasis to mock tests. So it's okay if you don't like giving mock tests. You can be someone like Rohit, who is more focused on theory, and that is absolutely fine. So in attempting your mock tests, what was your strategy? Did you attempt physics first, chemistry first, biology
I would
first?
start with bio first, then bio first, chemistry, physics, the normal one, and then mark it on the OMR.
And then you'll mark all the 180 questions together?
No, all together, yeah.
How much time did you got 3 hours 20 minutes. So it took you how much time to solve the paper?
Full time.
Full time,
Yeah.
okay.
I just finished on time. I think 2-3 minutes was left after I finished the last question.
So I think there's again a lot of variation. A lot of people would say, and people get intimidated कि toppers का paper तो आधा घंटा पहले खत्म होता है and all of that. But I think it's very important to know that there is a reason that you get 200 minutes, because the paper is meant to be completed in that time. So I feel that's a very realistic thing to be doing. So you have chosen a very smart strategy that I feel probably I wouldn't have been smart enough to do. That physical chemistry would take time, so just go for inorganic and organic, and if you're good at it, that will be definitely a time saver.
That way, like doing the peripheral chapters helped a lot. I was like very good at those peripheral chapters,
those
like
small chapters. Okay. And what about physics ka section B and biology ka section B? How did you go about those? Was there something specific you had in mind?
This time physics section B was a little theoretical, so those also helped a lot. Like physics actually helped a lot because it's more theoretical based paper, so I could go through very quickly. I think I finished physics the fastest in my entire journey of NEET. Like I took only half an hour to finish the paper, because I took like 1 hour 45 minutes to finish bio and chem together. In biology I had to go through all the questions because there were very confusing questions here and there.
So you had to spend some time in selecting which question to choose. So that sort of summarizes how to go about NEET. All of those who are preparing for NEET 2023, that is almost everything that you need to keep in mind. How much time do you think should the last revision of biology, physics and chemistry take? How many days should you be giving in the last week for let's say going through the entire syllabus together?
Again, that it depends on where exactly the person is based on revision skills. Like I could never finish a revision very fast. Like it took a very, very long time for revision. Only I think on last day, I somehow tried to do something within 1 day. So I know how that went. But usually in terms of revision, it should take a very long time.
So now let's talk a little bit about your more holistic journey from where it started. So walk us through your preparation journey and sort of table it for us. how you started and how it progressed.
Technically, 11th I was not focused in NEET. I was doing random stuff, and I was like that time I was like more discovering biology in general. So I started doing Campbell biology for some reason, and then I think in December was.
Did you give the biology Olympiad?
Yeah. First time I didn't clear, but second time I cleared. I went to the camp level, but camp was cancelled.
So I have also attended the camp in my class 11 and class 12. So I feel very proud when someone tells me that they have cleared the biology Olympiad. So congratulations for that. Anyway,
I covered most of 11th concepts, the equilibrium chapter and then thermodynamics. All those I did pretty well in 11th. But again there, like in 11th I kind of did all the wrong stuff. Like for example, I did NCERT for physics and I didn't touch the module, which was like ulta. And then for biology I didn't even touch NCERT. And chemistry, I didn't know what I was doing that time. So finally, like towards 11th end was when I said, okay, I fully changed my NA preparation, and I think from summer vacation onwards, I actually started NEET-centric preparation.
Okay, so you got your everything together,
Yeah.
and then you actually started in class 12.
Summer vacation time, yeah.
Summer vacation, all right.
So that's when I started solving questions for the first time, because all my books are so like clean. Nothing was like. I also I had only like a single question the entire time, so I started solving questions a little bit here and there. And yeah, so 12th was when I started properly, and I started covering 11th concepts that time. And so I used to cover like 11 topics along with my 12th preparation also. So that way I used to like technically make sure that 11th was in good hands in 12th time.
So that's a very interesting thing that you've pointed out. But how did you manage your 11th along with your 12th going on?
So I had to take tests every 3 weeks. So the first week I used to keep for 11th stuff, and then the remaining 2 weeks I used to focus on the 12th, whatever concepts used to come for the test. And yeah, I did have a backlog of 12th also, which I covered towards the end. I think towards December I covered most of the major chapters of 11th.
So basically the idea is, if you were in your class 12 and you have, let's say, tests at a frequency of 3 weeks, divide that 3 weeks into a 1:2 ratio and give the first week to class 11 and give the remaining 2 weeks to class 12. So what was your strategy and what were the books that you used for physics, chemistry and biology respectively? You can just walk us through that.
For physics, I did theory from whatever notes I got, and I also did and problems I did only from the module and whatever tests I got. For chemistry,
so you didn't solve any extra book for physics, just module was enough.
For physics, example questions and NCERT are very important. I did all of those. So those are very conceptual and they're very nice to solve. Especially
the example questions in NCERT.
In chemistry, physical chemistry, again, I do only module questions. Organic chemistry, like I had a very good teacher in school who used to help me a lot. So she gave me a lot of notes. In organic chemistry, I only focused on NCERT theory. And in biology, I did refer to the module here and there. But mostly, again, my school notes, I had a very good teacher in school.
Okay, so again, you didn't solve many questions here also for biology.
Yeah, for inorganic chemistry and biology, I didn't technically solve that many questions.
So I think these are two subjects where I feel also the theory is relatively more important.
Yeah.
But physics is one place where, again, I think module was sufficient there also. You didn't need...
because like when I used to solve physics, I used to like overanalyze each question. So any question which I felt, this thing is like make like a huge page on how the question was created, and as in like I used to like overanalyze it basically. So that way I used to cover concept within that also. And that way I used to like technically like if I solve all the questions that I say in the module, I used to like technically like get like most of the questions possible.
Okay. So I would like you to tell our learners how to overanalyze a question, because that definitely sounds interesting.
So for certain questions which I felt like which I got wrong, or even though I got it correct, but I thought I'll make a mistake in the future, I used to ignore that on a separate page and then note how to like approach a question, what concepts it involves, and then like basically write a detailed note on it.
Okay, so you sort of analyze what are the ways I can go wrong in this?
Ways I could go wrong and the ways I could solve the question, and what concepts it in, like all the topics it involves, and like as in I used to like make a huge note on it and then.
So you had a notebook for your mistakes.
I used to make sheets for each chapter and then but this was little like towards the end I could not go through sheets because it had too many sheets. So I used to make like separate sheets which just stick into NCERT itself. So my NCERT physics book had like a lot of A4 sheets stuck into it. Okay. So there I used to have all the important topics written, important concepts written, and so that way I could cover it. Like that way towards the end, whatever question you give me, I would know how to approach and solve it.
Okay, so towards the end, if I have to understand, for revising your biology, you had everything into your NCERT. For revising your physics, again, you had put in sheets in your NCERT. And what about chemistry?
Chemistry, inorganic, because like each line was very important for inorganic, I made like separate notes of the lines of NCERT, so I would not miss all the lines. But for organic, I used to use my school notes because like those are technically summarized, and physical chemistry, I used to use the module because And also and my school notes.
Right. So that was your, single source in every place for your revision. And how many mock tests did you give when you were in your class 11 and class 12, when you were during that time of your preparation?
In class 11, I was not that focused. I used to bunk a lot of tests.
You used to bunk tests?
Yeah. So I give it very, very rarely. 12th, I used to give almost all the tests, like whatever tests I had, but the frequency was like once in 3 weeks initially, so it was like very few.
So in class 11, how many mock tests did you give exactly?
Less than 30 overall.
Less than?
30, I think, overall.
Okay.
I bunked most of it.
Right. And how many marks were you getting around then in class 11?
For some reason, always above 600, but it should be like early 600s only.
Okay, in the 600, but never went up 650.
No.
Okay. So Rohit, if somebody wants to improve their marks at this stage, let's say they're getting around 600, they want to take it to 650. What are the take a stepwise into how they should approach this, and what all should they do? What did you do when you were trying to increase your marks?
First would be to analyze the paper, find out where you're going wrong, and see whether it's a conceptual mistake, silly mistake, or yeah. So if it's a conceptual mistake, go back to the concept, finish, do the concept again fully, and then if it's a silly mistake, again try to note it down. Mostly like I used to note it down into my NCRTs itself. So while reading NCRT, I used to cover those mistakes as well. I feel like if you cover most of the concepts, your score would be somewhere around 650-ish or 660, and then the remaining would be due to all those small points throughout, which you can get a constant revision of the syllabus.
One very important thing that you pointed out here was silly mistakes. So of course you might have also made a lot of silly mistakes, right? So how do you deal with silly mistakes? Matlab, let's talk a little bit in detail about that.
So silly mistakes, you make a lot of silly mistakes, like a lot. So those, I guess by practice, and also I used to note on a lot of stuff from the paper into my book. So while reading, I'll be like, okay, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And
so also, you used to write in your NCRT, "Hey Rohit, don't do this."
Please don't do this. please don't do this. So that way while reading also, I constantly reinforce it into myself, okay, don't go in this direction, this particular case, think on this way. So that way also, doing that also preventing me making silly mistakes towards the end. And also by practice mostly.
Okay. So any other unique techniques that you think that you use during your preparation that can be useful to our learners?
One was, like I told in starting, the constant cycle which I used to use, where when I used to like one block of chemistry, one topic of I think 3 chapters of bio, and I think 1 chapter of physics every day, from 8 to 11, 3 hours. And that way I used to keep revising those topics constantly. And that way I think because of that particular technique, my inorganic became very strong to an extent where I think I found mistakes in NCRT also.
Oh, nice. So you found mistakes in NCRT as well. Did you send them to NCRT to make corrections?
The very ambiguous thing, in one chapter they'll say something else, in another chapter they'll say something, and I found too many mistakes.
Right.
Because of the one.
Naturally, NCRT has its mistakes, and if you read well enough, I think you'll be able to find them. But the most interesting technique that I felt, and I would just like to highlight that, was your prompts technique, basically, that you're giving yourself prompts in your NCRT that do this, don't do this, and that kind of helps you make your thought process very solid in the sense that you know which direction to go into. So, एक और बहुत interesting चीज़ सब learners के लिए कि Rohit is a US citizen, right? You have a US passport?
Yeah.
Right. So tell our learners a little bit about that. How can a US citizen give NEET, and how do you get admission into AIIMS? What is the exact process for foreign nationals currently, since you know about it exactly?
Right now it's a little different because the case has changed. We can apply in general quota.
Okay.
So there's no problem for this thing. But for us, we're not technically allowed to apply in general quota. We have to apply by the foreign national quota itself, and that also we didn't know exactly up till the last date. When AIIMS released I think when the counselling started, on that day we got to know if we can apply to AIIMS. So until we didn't know at all. And the other options also are not there. Because I think the only other NRI college is JIPMER, and JIPMER also pulled out the seats last minute.
Okay, so ultimately you had only one option, that
AIIMS,
was AIIMS,
and all the private colleges, which was very, very costly.
So just tell me this, that if you didn't get into AIIMS Delhi, let's say you did not, then what would you have done? What was your plan B?
I technically didn't have plan B. I never thought about it. I was just hoping, AIIMS keeps the seats open. But
Sigma Rule 69, never have a plan B.
Yeah. I actually never had a plan. I never thought about a plan B also. And even though my plans, they kept asking me to think of a plan B, I never thought of a plan B. Like I did apply to US colleges in December.
Okay.
I had a backup US college to go to, but I pulled out of that somewhere around
So which one was that?
UCSD for biology.
Okay.
Then I pulled out of that.
तो भाई देखो San Diego छोड़ के बंदा AIIMS Delhi आया है.
And then I also went to IISc for 1 week, pulled out of that.
Okay.
And then I finally came here.
So do you regret leaving San Diego or ISC for AIIMS in any sense?
No.
Was there anything good about those places that you felt were?
I didn't go to UCC. Like I attended the counselling session.
Okay.
And then I think the results came on the same day. So I left the counselling midway.
Okay.
So I left it midway, and I think the next day I pulled out of UCSD, and then because again JIPMER, I think after results came, JIPMER pulled out their seats, and we still weren't sure whether AIIMS will have, because AIIMS went to anything. I think my dad called it right, like the director like 10 times asking are seats there, because we weren't sure. So for that I had to I think go to IISc for like 1 week until I got to for sure the key seats are there.
So how was ISC?
It was damn fun. Like they have a very beautiful campus.
Okay. Okay. So if you had the option, you would not go to IISc though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
AIIMS, because I want to pursue a career in pure like in medicine, not in pure sciences.
Right. And if let's say you were not doing medicine, let's say you were not doing sciences, what would you?
Not in
be
science. Oh,
doing?
then I did have a plan to become a chef. I like cooking.
You like cooking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's like a very weird backup plan, but
What's the most complex dish that you can prepare?
like I used to make a lot of random desserts randomly. Like after watching all this MasterChef wala stuff, I used to like try to recreate some stuff.
Oh, so did you watch MasterChef India? How did you like?
Not
MasterChef
India, Australia.
You एकदम ऐसे अंग्रेजों वाले शौक, right? Cool. Okay. So I think one last preparation thing that we would come to, and then we would move to the rapid fire, is that what was your day before the exam and on the day of the exam? What did you exactly do?
So my plan was to actually take a break the day before the exam, but that did not work because I was trying to finish the syllabus. I think it was on Sunday, so on Friday I was trying to finish the syllabus, but I could not. I had some chapter stuff to put on Saturday, and Saturday I think I took half a day to finish it, and I stopped studying after that to just chill. And that day my mentality was like, what will happen just happens. I think at the point like I knew I couldn't study more. Whatever done, I've completely covered everything, and what will happen will happen. Then came the exam. Again, I came to like little early, so I was like 3 hours early. So I like sit there for 3 hours, which kind of led to some anxiety initially. But then after a while, I just started doing like some random stuff with my this thing so to distract myself. And after that, and then like that way I could keep calm the entire time. When the exam started, I was initially very calm, but then the problem was I think bio was a little different that time for us. Like we had a lot of statement-based questions, and I think I attempted botany first. So the first page itself, I left like 5 questions initially. So it was like very sad initially, and then I kept going randomly, and then finally like became a little anxious in the middle somewhere for chemistry, I guess, because I wasn't finishing biochemistry together. Like I took 1 hour 45 minutes, which I normally don't take for biochemistry, because normally for biochemistry I take like 1 hour or 1 hour 10 minutes max. So like way above my time limit, and I kind of panicked that time. But then towards then it all worked out. Like I was able to complete physics very quickly, and I technically didn't overthink on certain questions, and which technically went my way.
You didn't overanalyze here.
Yeah, like certain statement-based questions which I marked, I just like I couldn't check them again, so I just marked whatever I thought the first time, and I felt that because of those I got them correct.
Your
like,
gut feeling, your instinct. So I think that's again another important point, and a lot of toppers tend to go wrong on this. So you should overanalyze in practice, but when you are actually giving your test, I feel whatever comes first to your mind is usually correct.
Didn't have time to go back and check also.
Oh yeah, you were also short on time.
Yeah.
How much time did you take to fill your OMR at the end?
OMR, I feel within like 20 minutes. Like I couldn't like normally in practice you take a lot of time because I used to like check and mark. This time I directly am marking very fast, and that way also I feel like practice will help a lot because like marking became an instinct for me. Like normally I was making a lot of bubbly mistakes initially, but towards then, even though I didn't exactly do it like slowly, I went very fast. I made no bubbly mistakes.
Right. So I think that's an important skill that all of you should practice. Ki mock test वगैरह when you give, always give them with a proper bubbling. So that brings us to an end of the preparation related stuff, and now we have something special for you. There's a rapid fire round. You might have seen CTwT before, so you might know of it. And if you do well, you will get a gift hamper. You will obviously get a gift hamper. But yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so Rohit, I hope you're ready. I hope you know what rapid fire means, that
Yeah.
it has to be rapid and आग तो तुम लगा ही दोगे, ठीक है? So, first question, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you prefer eating books or watching movies?
Watching movies.
Have you read Harry Potter or
Yeah.
did you watch the movies? You did both?
I did both.
Okay, nice.
But movies first.
If you would live in any city in the world, where would you choose?
New York.
Yay, United States of America. Nice. Do you prefer spending time with a large group of people or just a few close friends?
Close friends.
Close friends. Do you prefer playing sports or watching sports?
Playing sports. I don't
Which
like
one do you
watching
play?
sports. I play like everything in general, but mostly badminton, chess.
Okay. Do you prefer staying in or going out?
Going out.
Okay. What is your favorite type of animal?
Sloth.
Why?
Lazy. It's like very lazy. It's like so peaceful in life.
Okay. Do you prefer sunny days or cloudy days?
Sunny.
Okay. What is your favorite type of food to cook or bake?
Pizza.
Pizza. Nice. Do you prefer board games or video games?
Both. I love both.
What's your favorite video game?
Right now, I used to play Fortnite. I kind of stopped that. But
Okay.
yeah, Fortnite.
PUBG खेलता था?
हाँ, थोड़ा सा.
Nice, that's great. So I think you did exceedingly well, and so CTwT has a small surprise for you, as you know. So this is the CTwT hamper. So please accept this.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So CTwT gave you some privileges when you walked in for this interview, and that was to ask some questions to me, your senior. So welcome to Ask a Senior, this special round of CTwT where you can ask me 3 questions, but I will answer truthfully.
Do you like our new batch?
Yes, at least I definitely like it better than 2021 batch. I feel you guys are much better at interacting, and probably the first batch to be completely back on track, so that's really exciting.
Then does it get better after first year?
No, not at all. No, the academics get tougher, and genuinely MBBS is hard, and I feel every aspirant getting into this should know about that.
So now are you satisfied with your life at AIIMS?
Yes, pretty much. I mean, it's everything that I thought it would be, and it lives up to that expectation. So can't complain. So thank you for those 3 questions. Absolutely wonderful questions, and I think you would have gotten some insight from them. And we'll obviously keep interacting, and you can ask me many more questions off the screen. Anyway, so there's another tradition that we have, that you tag a topper, tag a friend of yours who you would feel is going to be useful for all our learners, and they have some unique strategy, some unique tips and tricks that will be useful for our learners. So who would you like to tag?
I want to get 2 toppers.
Okay.
One is Satvik M, my roommate. He's also from Karnataka, and he had a different thing. Like he didn't go to a typical coaching institute. Like he went to a different coaching institute compared to like Alan or Akash. So
Okay.
his will be different. And second is Aditi Vurum. She's from Hyderabad, and she also had technically again didn't go to, I think Alan or Akash had a different like thing altogether.
Okay, so these toppers didn't go to conventional coachings, right? And that is something unique, and we'll definitely try to have them on CTwT, and hopefully we can learn more from their experiences like we did from yours. So as we wrap up this interview, I want you to leave a message for all the aspirants. So a message for all the aspirants, summing up the thoughts from this interview.
So the NEET journey is obviously a very tough journey. Like it's a very long journey, and there's a lot of ups and downs. The most important thing is to stay calm throughout, even though it's very hard to do, but stay calm throughout. Try to be less anxious, because that way you'll be more efficient in whatever you're doing. And more importantly, don't be too hard on yourself, which happens always. Try to not hate yourself. And yeah, basically try to be calm. Always try to be positive. Also have a positive outlook of everything, even failures. And that way it'll always help you towards the end.
So wonderful message, Rohit. Thank you so much. And I think you sort of also touched the mental health bit, which I feel is very important during the 2 years of preparation. So thank you so much for that beautiful message. And with that, we come to the end of this interview. And I feel I learned a lot during this interview, and I feel you would also have learned. And one key message that I felt was that everybody has their own strategy. Everybody has their own way of going about things. Somebody might give a mock test every day. Somebody might not give a mock test at all, right? So there are extremes of everything, and you have to find your own comfort zone. So make your own journey and learn from the mistakes of others. So with that, we come to the end of this interview, and it was a wonderful interview. I definitely had a lot to learn from this, and I feel you would too. one key message that I would derive from this is that everybody has their own strategy. Somebody might give a mock test every day, somebody like me who gave a mock test every day. And here Rohit gave very few mock tests and focused more on theory. So there are both extremes, and you have to find your own comfort zone, which will probably lie somewhere in between. Okay. So wishing you all the very best for NEET 2023, since it's just around the corner. Give your best and put in all your effort, concentrate it into these 2 months, and you will come out with flying colors. Hope to see you in the institute of your choice, pursuing your MBBS and living your dream. Wishing you all the very best. See you in the next interview. Please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe, and do comment as to what were your favorite parts from this interview and what are the other toppers you would like to see on this channel. See you until then. Bye bye.